Hello YouTube, LandNav Part 3. Today we're talking about doing map work, right? So to start off with, we're gonna need a protractor. There are lots of different types. This is the one I have. This protractor has multiple scales on it, right? We have our 1 in 24,000, our 1 in 25, that doubles as 1 in 250, our 1 in 50,000, and our 1 in 10, which also doubles as 1 in 100. And then we can see all along the outer edge is 360 degrees, and that is what we use to find our bearing. I'll explain all of that in a second. Additionally, we need some sort of marking utensil. Map pins are great, and we should get some that include or buy in addition the white erasing one as well. A straight edge, I'm just gonna use a piece of paper today. Some people use rulers, I like that. Some people will tie strings around their protractors coming from the center that they can use as a straight edge. Very popular in the military. All right, so this is a map. We can see down at the bottom, we have a 3.1 grid to magnetic angle. We'll have to adjust when we get our final angles before we go to a compass. We can see our northings along the top and the bottom, and our eastings, or rather, I apologize, our eastings along the top and the bottom, and our northings along the left and right side of the map. There's a blue grid across it at each of these markers, and the distance from one indicator grid line to the other is 1,000 meters. Wonderful. This is a 1 in 24,000 map. All right. So I'm going to want to go from this point here that I just made to this point here, hypothetically, okay? So I need to find out what those points are so I can write them down, pass that off to command and control, tell my patrol what points we're going to be going to, whatever, okay? Then I'm going to need to find the bearing, the actual direction on my compass I need to walk from one to the other. And then I need to find out what my distance is so I can utilize my pace count and make sure that I haven't overshot my goal, and that'll help prevent me from getting lost. So, first step is going to be finding our easting, okay? So, what we want to do to find our easting is we're going to take our protractor, and we're going to be using the proper scale. For this one, it's 1 in 24,000. And for the easting, what I like to do is I like to put the dot that I'm trying to get the grid on my 0, marker for that scale on the slot, okay? And then I can look to the easting to the left here and see that we're like right at the 7, okay? I would say we're right at 7, so there's not even going to be a second number, just one number on that one. So our easting, going from left to right, that means is going to be 0, 6, 3, 7, 0. All right, and that 0 is an actual number, right? Because it's not 6, 9, and it's not 7, 1. It is at the 70 marker. Next, we need to get the northing of that point. So to get the northing, we're going to take it's kind of hard to explain this. We're going to take this grid scale we have here with our slot tool, and we're going to slide the slot down so that we're leaving our point we're trying to find in the slot. And then we're going to line up the bottom of our scale on the southern northing marker, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. And then we're going to be able to go make sure we're all aligned properly and all that. And then we're going to go up, and wherever that dot is, to me that looks like that dot is at the 7, 1, okay? And so our northings go from bottom to top. So we are at the 3, 3, 6, 8, 3, 3, 6, 8, 7, 1. Got it. So this point here is at 0, 6, 3, 7, 0, 3, 3, 6, 8, 7, 1. What did I mess up here? I messed something up here. 7, 3, 3, 0, 6, 3, 7. This should be 2 more numbers. So this, awesome. So I got confused. Here's what happened. I got confused because this easting marker it ends in 70, and 70 was also the number that I measured. So it's not 606,370. It's actually 063770. But now it's a good demonstration because we get to see use of an eraser marker, okay? So now we have a full UTM 12-digit grid, which gives us 10-meter accuracy. And we know that point is 0637703368871. Wonderful. Now we got to do that again. We have to find our second point. So let's orient our protractor, find our easting, and this line is actually basically right on a northing, but the easting we're at is, it's the same big marker, the 0637, but now we are at 3, I'm going to say 33. So we're at 063733. Okay, and then our northing looks like we are just, I'm going to say like 0.2. We're not even all the way up to 1, not even close to it. We're like either 0.1 or 0.2 up, right? So we're going to be 336802 on our northing, right? So this point here, the grid for that point is 063733336802. Wonderful. Now to find our direction. We're going to place the center of the protractor, the very center of it. We're not worried about our scale any longer. The very center of it at the point that we're going from. Okay, so we're going to be at this point, and then we're going to travel to the other point. So we're going to make sure we're lined up and we're properly canted. Very important. We're going to take our straight edge. Whoa. We're going to take our straight edge and run it from the center, which is the point we're going from, through the point we're going to, and then off the edge of the protractor, which are going to allow us to read the actual measurement. I'm going to say that looks like 207. Okay? So our grid angle is 207, and then we have to adjust 3 degrees, right? Right down here, we have to adjust 3 degrees, which is going to make our magnetic angle 210. Got it. Lastly, we're going to go and we're going to take our, using our proper scale. I like to use the slider tool, the slider bar here. And it doesn't matter which one you put it on first. Just for ease, I'm going to go to the point we're ending at first. Put the 0 on that point, and then we can look and we can see that's 8. Our other point is 8. That means it is 8 out of 10, 10 being 1,000 kilometers, which means that is 800 kilometers, 800 meters, rather. Okay. So, right, does that work? Almost. Okay. So this point here is 0637703368871. And I want to go from that point to this point, which is 06373336802. The angle that I'm going to be traveling here on the grid is 207 degrees. On the compass that I'm going to be using is going to be 210 degrees. And the distance I'm traveling is 800 meters. So I can utilize my 100 meter pace count and keep track of that to make sure I don't undershoot or overshoot my marker, and help me keep track of where I'm at on my map, even if I don't have a GPS to reference. So that is how you plot points, find headings, and find directions on a map. Wonderful. Catch y'all on the next one.